are live here, of course, at the Harry Potter exhibit. Of course, this is down in Sandy. Folks, you've got to come check this thing out. So much to see, so much to do here. And we're getting a chance to go room by room and check out some of this amazing stuff now. Right now, we're going to highlight the Triwizard Tournament. You know, this is a special tournament for me, obviously, because one of my favorite characters in the Harry Potter stories, of course, Cedric Diggory, was big on the Triwizard Tournament. So I had to show you this activity here. Now, some of you who may not be familiar with this whole story may not know what the actual Triwizard Tournament is. And basically, it is a legendary competition. It highlights things like bravery, intelligence, and also, we can't forget about the magical ability here. And it does that between the three largest European wizarding schools that we have around here. And of course, it helps to promote the international magical cooperation. Now, what's really cool about this, as I mentioned, one of my favorite characters, Cedric, in the storyline there, it was a huge in this situation. And of course, another thing that I like to mention, I like to brag about a little bit, of course, we know Harry Potter, main character of the story, of course. This is one of the things where they did something called the Yule Ball after the tournament. Well, he gets to dance with Harry Potter's crush, Cho Chang, in the movie, so it's pretty cool. But back to the Triwizard Tournament here. Of course, how do you get in the tournament? Well, it all begins with this thing here, the Goblet of Fire right here. Of course, names are spit out from the Goblet of Fire, and of course, that's how you know you're in the tournament. And to be fair, lots of names are spit out, but not everybody can really live up to the hype. Of course, some of the main ones, Victor Crumb. Of course, you had folks like Harry Potter, who was a last-minute addition, and of course, like I said, Cedric Diggory. Of course, this tournament features several different things, including it has a situation where it goes through, you've got to fight a dragon, you've got to do an underwater rescue, and you've got to do more magical things as well. So it includes a lot of tough tasks. Hey, imagine having to try to slay and fight this dragon here in a tournament. It's a tournament, right? And of course, you know, we had some of our famous stars. I already mentioned Victor Crumb, of course. This was a big one for Hermione. She liked Victor, of course. And then, of course, you had Harry Potter, who was a last-minute addition. And then, of course, Cedric Diggory. That's right, old Robert Pattinson played Cedric. Of course, kind of the champion of the Triwizard Tournaments through most of the time frame there. And we can't forget about Fleur Delacour, but hey, it's all really about Cedric Diggory, right? He was the guy who really brought home the win and the trophy each time. So pretty cool, the Triwizarding Tournament. Let's go and take you on a little further on here as we make our way into one of the more famous things, famous games you may know, the Quidditch Room. All right, folks, now this is synonymous with Harry Potter, of course, the Quidditch game that they played here. Obviously, you recognize some of the uniforms, the famous brooms that they flew on to make their way in and do that here. And of course, we know Quidditch here is, of course, very active indeed and a fun sport game that was out there as well. We'll talk more from, yes, the exhibit here at Harry Potter. But first, let's take a look at your forecast here as we go throughout the day. Again, we're starting off with temperatures that are on the mild side out there. We've got those numbers in the 50s and 60s for many of us. So, yeah, it's another comfortable start to the day. As we go throughout the rest of the afternoon, we'll be seeing those temperatures, at least through the morning, climbing from the 60s into the 70s along the Wasatch Front. We'll be climbing from the 70s into the 80s down in southwest Utah and St. George. So things will be warming up. Overall, looking at your temperature map for the day, high temperatures will be in the 80s across most of the state, with, yes, some upper 90s there in southwestern portions of Utah there. So get ready for a warming trend on the way. But Jordan, I mean, what's not to love right now? I mean, I'm getting a chance to talk about the Triwizarding Tournament, and we know Cedric Diggory big on that. And of course, everybody knows Quidditch. Now, I've been trying to get on one of these brooms, but I don't know. I'm looking for the right one to handle my weight class. But I think I'm going to try to make it happen. We'll see if we can get that magic to actually keep it in the air coming up.
All right, Cedric, don't hurt yourself trying to chase down that golden snitch.